be honest, this is why like I feel in a sense that big budget films like kind of in a sense don't know what they're doing with the money, so just invest it in like
Mm,
the visual effects and shit. So like it lacks the creativity, so it just makes things look really wonky and just random. You know what I mean? Like and like the recent Fast and Furious trailer, for example, there's a scene where Dominic Toretto jumps off of a truck before he flies off. I'm like, IRL, you're dead. Like from that height, with that momentum, your head hitting the
yeah,
concrete, like you're dead. You know what I mean? It's like, and it looks like the CGI looks like a little like a doll hitting the fucking floor. Like, it doesn't bounce. It's just like
right.
the gravity just doesn't appear. It doesn't make sense.
We were talking about weight earlier. I think a
Mm.
director who creates weight in a very effective manner is Nolan.
Yeah. Well,
And
yeah.
yeah, the best example of these would be in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
But in all these sequences, the reliance on practical really does come through
Mm.
ultimately.
Yeah.
And even in some of his films with more CGI heavy, um, mostly thinking of Interstellar,
Yeah.
there's still enough of these practical like
Mm.
scenarios within which the camera is looking through to really create this weight.
Mm. Well, he doesn't use the visual effects as like a sort of prop. He
Not
uses
as a crutch.
yeah, he uses
He
it more
uses
as
them
to
to
develop.
enhance
Yeah, exactly.
visuals.
Yeah. It's
Um,
it's not like a oh why not insert this here we look it'll look cool. It's more of like we need this to sort of amplify the scope of say I don't know the
right.
planet or something. You know what I mean? To like
Or the story needs this to be told,
yeah yeah
in a sense. You know, like the same way a lot of, we'll say, sci-fis require that level of VFX to
yeah.
be able to tell those stories most of the time.
Mm,
But then there's, like you said, the flip side where a story that doesn't really require said VFX then relies on them to create an image that they're not capable of creating otherwise, or
yeah.
they're
Well, that's why I think like the Mission Impossible, the recent Mission Impossible films are really highly regarded because they use practicality, which is
Mhm.
kind of nuts because Tom Cruise is just fucking adrenaline junkie in itself. So it's like
Right.
whatever.
It's part of the
But like
selling point, I suppose.
yeah, exactly. So in a sense, it's kind of the same thing with the beginning of the Dark Knight Rises where the plane crashes. That was practical,
Yeah.
and so I feel like there's this sort of like you said, it's not only a weight, but it's like there's like a tension on like with it being practical. It's like those are real people doing that. They're real
Right.
lives at stake. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. It's you can kind of, a part of your brain feels it
Yeah.
when you know that it's practical.
So it's not like something like you're very much into it in a sense. You're very like you're connected. Like you know how you would feel in a situation like that. Where in a sense like if the thing was entire thing was CGI'd, like green screen or whatever, kind of like Iron Man, for example. When he jumps off the plane, whatever. Like it's Iron Man, so you don't really like feel that tension in the sense where like a couple of people jump out of the plane. You're kind of like, yeah, but that's highly unlikely. And anyways, if that were to happen IRL, it wouldn't really work.
Uh,
The what I'm thinking is sort of. Do you remember the Iron Man 3 when
yeah, I like that sequence actually. It's fun.
I know
It's
it's nice to look at, but I'm saying like in a certain because like a couple of physicists sort of debunked it, where
sure.
because you know how weight sort of when you add weight,
Right,
the
it'd
person
be even worse.
yeah, so the person
Yeah.
holding the other person would basically carry every single other person that's within that that line there. So
Yeah.
essentially, the person who's being held by Iron Man would just have her arm ripped off.
Yeah, it could have some bad results if taken too
Yeah,
realistically.
yeah, realistically,
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
that's the thing. I think once again it all depends on, are you matching the tone, or are
Well,
you
yeah,
creating a sequence that raises a lot of questions when compared to the rest of the film,
yeah,
right? Like, not to disparage any VFX workers, because uh I've seen VFX that have that weight that really trick you You know,
Mm.
it's possible. It's difficult, but there are examples of VFX that have gotten to a level where they really can reach that kind of concentration that you have when it's practical,
Mm.
but it's rare. It's very rare.
Yeah. I don't know. I still I don't know. I'm a bit old school where I kind of
Mm,
like enjoy a more a higher percentage of practical effects
yeah,
mixed with a bit of VFX,
yeah, I agree with that.
which is more ultimately one, it's cheaper, and two, it forces the director to be more creative.
Right.
So it's not like he's just like, oh, we'll do that in post. Yeah, like how easy that is. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, we'll just sit, we'll do this, and then we'll put
We'll
a shark.
correct the film that's broken.
We'll put a shark in post, and then just match the
Or
color
shark.
correction. Yeah, horse shark. Yeah, that's the best character in D&D. We're gonna create one.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, essentially that's sort of like um the way I see it in the sense that what we're doing right now is we can't really rely on post production that heavily.
Right.
So it forces me to sort of think of movements that would sort of make the action scene look good. That's why in a sense the video I showed you, it forces a lot of dynamic shots that
Right.
you wouldn't normally see in normal filmmaking, because it's sort of kind of like it kind of breaks the rules in a sense,
Right.
where
It's
like
very much hands-on. I like shifting POVs
yeah,
frequently.
shifting axis and a
Yeah,
lot
the
of
breaking the axis fairly often.
there's a lot of stuff that yeah.